I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about giving up being reasonable. And it sounds, for most people, so unreasonable to give up being reasonable. And I'm not kidding, nor am I exaggerating. And I first started to practice this strategy years ago when I had to do a very unpleasant task of firing people, of telling them that they no longer worked for me. And I've employed so many people. I've employed over 600 people, and so in that time, I've had to fire a lot of people. And what I did was made sure that when I did it, I didn't give them reasons. Now I know that some of you will probably want to argue with me, and that's fine, and we can do that. But I believe that the best reason to give someone when they ask for it is, well, I thought about it. I really looked at it. I made a list of the pros and the cons, the benefits and the costs. I talked it through with trusted coworkers, trusted advisors, and I got clear. And I got clear that we're not going to work together anymore. Um, Now, what about reasons though? Why not talk about what are the reasons? Because to me, reasons are often seen as arguments and they're open to debate. And my number one strategy from falling away is to move toward love, to move away from antagonism and to move toward complete love and acceptance. And reasons are often when we are defending ourselves. And what I realize is that almost every time we defend ourselves, it's seen as offense to the other. So when we give reasons, then people defend themselves because they feel attacked. Now, people often, again, demand reasons. They demand explanations. They're like children. They constantly say, why? And then you tell them, and they say, but why that? And then you tell them. So again, what I'm recommending when people want the reasons is you say, no, thank you. I just want to tell you the bottom line. I listened to you. I listened to your points of view. I considered it myself. I slept on it, and then I chose. Um, Often, when I make a list, I consider a choice, and that sometimes the benefits list is actually bigger than the cost list. And I still choose not according to that linear analytical uh, explanation. So I might have my reasons, but part of the reason to not be reasonable is so that you can really follow your heart. You can follow your own intuition. So now you've heard a little bit about being reasonable. What I'd like to do is ask once again that you take a moment and listen to yourself.
I'd like to add something, Dave.
Oh,
To
I'd love to have you.
yeah. The other problem that I see, I love this concept, by the way, and another problem that I see with it is when we're in the company of people that desire or demand a reason, we offer it up, and I think most of the time it's not true. You know, I think that we offer up explanations to give the other person what they want, and often they don't represent what's so. And you know, you can look to see if that's true for you, but it sure is for me. And so then, you know, if that is true, or even true part of the time, then it's good to look at, is there an alternative to having to explain ourselves or to provide reasons.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Bill.
Dave.
It also reminded me that not only do we sometimes not give the real reason, but I think more often than not, we don't know the real reason. What we know is that we reasoned it out, we thought it through, but when we end up choosing, I think it's a correlation of all these different reasons. And to pick one or two I think it not only misrepresents ourselves to others, it misrepresents ourselves to ourselves.
I appreciate, what you were talking about reasons. There was a little glitch for me. And where does the person get the feedback, about what they have or haven't contributed, to the situation of being let go?
Yeah. And I want to speak to your question, though, because I think it's very important to give people in our lives feedback, whether they're friends or spouses or coworkers. And so back to my first example, way before I ever would let someone go, they got tremendous feedback. But once I chose that they're no longer going to work with me, then I didn't want to get into an argument about that feedback. So they got a lot of feedback, and then later, then sometimes you just choose.